What's going on, people? So today what we have is I'm going to attempt to paint this part here. This is the front headlight bezel from a 2005 Honda Metropolitan. Um, so I haven't used this here. They used to advertise this as chrome paint, but the last time I used it I was a kid, and it was piss poor. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to my worst enemy. But now, hopefully, 20 years or so later, they've made it better. They don't advertise it as chrome anymore. Now it is advertised as metallic silver. So we'll see. So what I'm going to start by doing is, obviously I have to take the light out, and then I'm going to sand this down. I'm going to use the flat black primer, and then I'm going to use the metallic silver, and then I'm going to put some gloss clear over top of that. So we'll see how it looks. Usually this gloss really helps out a lot. If you guys don't use the gloss, if you just spray paint, this stuff is really good. I love this new Rust-Oleum stuff. Well, it's not new. It's been out for a little while now. It's 2 times ultra cover, so it covers really fast and really thick. So you really have to be careful if you're not used to painting with this. If you're used to the cheap stuff, not that this isn't cheap. It's like $4 or $5 a can, but this stuff will run really fast because it comes out so thick. But it's great for coverage. You don't need that much. But anyway, maybe just this by itself will look great. I don't know. But in my experience, every time you put a clear on it, it just adds to the shine. It just looks so much better. For instance, right now, this is just white. This is it's really dirty from sitting and everything, but it's just a base coat. There's no clear coat on it. If there was, it would be a much deeper shine. So anyway, I guess I'm going to start disassembling this. Also, what I use is I use denatured alcohol. That cleans it really good, gets the oil and everything from your hands and dirt off of it. I have paper towels. You really shouldn't use paper towels because it leaves, dust particles and lint particles and stuff behind, but it's not going to be a show car. I'm not really concerned about it. And then we have a dual action sander, commonly known as a DA sander, because it doesn't just spin this way. It spins in ovals at the same time as it's spinning, so it gives it the name dual action, because it's not just spinning like this. Would just be like your typical grinder. And this would be like an oscillating. So it oscillates like this and around in a circle and spins at the same time. So it does more natural sanding motion like your hand would do. So anyway, most of you guys probably already knew that, but some of you may not have. So that's a DA sander, a dual action sander. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all the stuff out of the way, and I'm going to get this light out. Okay, this is what the back of this looks like. Obviously, this was not white before, but what we have is 2 Phillips screws here, and then we have 3 8mm. It'll take all this off, and then the headlight will be free to come out. This guy is here, and this guy is here, in case you're not aware. You can adjust. So I don't know if you can see in that hole down there, probably not. There's a Phillips screw in there, so that's going to adjust your height of your light. So if your light's too low or too high, you just use that right there. And this would be more for your left and right, but that's not something you can really adjust without taking the whole thing apart. So let's take these out. Okay, and that's how fast that is. 2 seconds and this is out. Let me get this out of the way so it doesn't get damaged. I think eventually what I'm going to be doing is popping this cover off. I don't know how it's going to look. A Met Rock build I previously did this was tinted. Big Dog Gates had one that he tinted, and I got it off of him, and it looked really cool. So this was all smoked, but I think with the scheme I'm going to go, it maybe look better this way. So we'll see. But anyway, let me get this out of the way. Okay, so got the DA sander out. What I have on here is a piece of used. I believe this is 120. So it's used, so it's not full strength. I'm going to see how this works. The surface is already good. There's no cracks or anything like that. So I mean, honestly, I don't even need a DA sander. I could just go over this by hand. But we'll see. If this is too much, maybe I'll put a piece of 220 on it or something. Okay, so that used 120 works really good. Now I'm just going to go around and make sure I have all the spots. You just want to take the sheen off of, if you're already working with a good piece, all you have to do is get the shine off of the paint to make sure that the new paint has something good to stick into. Because if it's shiny and you try to paint it, it's just going to peel right back off. And you just want to sand it down. And I didn't want to do too much on these edges. Any edge that you're doing plastic with any kind of a mechanical sander, you watch out because it'll burn right through. You don't want to burn through because then you'll have flat spots and could be deformed. So stay away from the edges if you can. And it's funny, you can actually see the piece of a flower pattern in there. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera because this was white with the blue flower pattern on it before I painted it. And this black is all the primer that's underneath. So just finish sanding this up and then I'm going to clean it off. So it's all sanded down, I have all the shiny spots off. So I'm just going to blow this off. Make sure I get most of the dust off of it. Okay, so now I have most of the dust off of it, and from around the area too. I'll go ahead and wipe it down with some denatured alcohol. You don't have to use denatured. Some people use rubbing, just depends. I just use denatured alcohol. It seems to work fine. Get a good amount of it on there. Really go into town on this thing. You actually should clean your hands. It's bad practice not to clean your hands first, but you just really want to get in there. Make sure you get all the dust and, more importantly, oils off of this. Because oils are what are going to give you fish eyes. I call them fish eyes because they look like fish eyes. No matter what you do to try to paint them, the oil that's on the piece that you're painting won't allow it to sit on that spot. So the more you try to cover it, it just sort of builds a barrier around it in paint. It's really a pain in the ass. You have to sand it down and clean it and try again. So, okay, it's looking good there, nice and clean. So that stuff that came off of there, I'm hoping that'll do okay. Okay, so now close this guy up, and I'm going to take it. I have a little set up outside where I'm going to paint this. So I'm going to go there now. See how easy this stuff covers? So easy. So easy to cover. This is what I'm saying. You have to be very careful with this stuff because you will get runs. This is just the first coat, so you don't have to go crazy. Just a decent coverage. You'll be okay. Let's get the inside lip there. Alright, that's all we need right now. So, I don't know if you can see, the dullness is already going away because this stuff dries really quick, especially if you put thin coats on. So I'm just going to let that dry for about 2-3 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and put another coat on. Okay, that was just a couple of minutes. You can see it's already, I don't want to touch it, but it's already dried. I'm just going to give it another coat. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes or so, and you can see there's a nice dull black color. That's what you want. It's shiny still, it's still a little wet. You want to let it set up a little bit so that it doesn't run, because if it's still a little wet, it's just going to help make runs, and then you have to stop, wait for it to completely dry for a day, sand it, and start again, and it's just a waste of time. It's better just to wait a little bit. When you're painting, a lot of people think you have to let it dry for an hour, 2 hours, or whatever before you can coat it again. No, that's totally not the case with this stuff. If you read the instructions on here, this one says something, recoat, dry to the touch in 1 hour, apply second coat within 1 hour or after 24 hours. Because after 1 hour, it's already starting to set up, it's starting to cure. And what happens is, if you want a crinkle cut look on whatever you're painting, by all means, wait 2-3 hours and then paint it. You'll see it'll lay perfectly fine, and within a few minutes, the paint will just start peeling it up. It's just not, you just screwed the pooch if you do that. So, wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you want. I usually wait around 5-10 minutes, depending on the temperature. Today's nice out. It's about 65 degrees out. So we're going to see, and I was just reading this one here, and it says they do not recommend a clear coat. So we'll see what it looks like without a clear, but I'm probably going to put one on anyway. But hopefully I don't screw this up, because I don't know how this is going to lay. I haven't used this kind in a long time. So, but I mean, it's only spray paint, so hopefully it looks kind of decent. But anyway, here we go. Let's see, there's coat number 1. And we'll say, it don't look horrible. Just I'll let it set up for a few minutes and put another coat on it. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to put a second coat on there, and I'm just going to tell you right now, that cap looks nothing like paint. It's just so much shinier. So it's almost a matte finish on it. But I'm going to give it another coat. Alright, back with the clear. I'm using gloss. They do have a matte clear, they have a satin clear, and they have a gloss clear. I'm going with the gloss. So let's see if we can get this thing to shine some. Right, there's that. It's yeah, I don't know. It's shinier but duller at the same time. It's hard to describe. Maybe the clear wasn't the right thing for it, but it's just silver. It's actually silver now. Before, I don't know what color it was. Okay, so here's what's going on. was going to put a second coat on here, but I'm just really not feeling the way this is looking. Doesn't look bad, but it's just not what I want for this build. So I'm going to scrap this idea. And unfortunately now I have to wait for it to set up and cure before I could sand it and just paint it a different color. But just for the record, I don't know how good that's going to pick up on the camera, but it looks nothing at all like the cap. Just be forewarned. I wasn't expecting this, but I was expecting more than that. So I'm actually going to take a picture of this too, so you can see. Maybe it'll show up better on the picture than it will on here. And yeah, so, but anyway, maybe this helped you figure out how to paint the headlight bezel on your Metropolitan. So I guess I'll end this video here, and next time you see this, it'll be painted. I'm not going to put that on camera, because you just watch me paint this, so you know exactly what I'm going to do. But yeah, so the next time you see this, it'll be painted a different color. I actually went out today and tried to find that color, and it was sold out everywhere. So I don't have enough to do the whole Metropolitan, unfortunately. So I'm going to need to order in more of that. But in the meantime, I guess I'll sand down the plastics and get them all primed and ready to go. But until next time, peace out.